the knots in our audio system, we are ready to start our next run. We're gonna see some Final Fantasy IV any percent run by Crrool. And you might not see me on stream right now, but I think you'll be hearing a lot of me because apparently I'm going to be co-commentary right now. And yeah, so let's actually get rid of the... let's close off the incentive because we got in €5 from Tiebreaker Box who says, let's break this tie. And with that, either one of the types of music, I get a second. Okay, excellent. Well then, here is Crrool, and enjoy the run.
Okay, everybody ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, then I suppose we'll get moving. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go!
So yeah, I need to know the incentive in about a minute and a half. So you've got some time to figure out which one actually won. And otherwise, Box is sitting right next to me, so we'll figure it out either way.
Excellent.
So yeah, welcome everybody to Final Fantasy IV. The Final Fantasy that I PB'd in last time I was at BSG, like over a year ago. And I haven't really ran it much, but because I'm running it in the relay next week, I figured, hey, might as well throw it in here as well. So yeah, Final Fantasy IV. We're gonna get some cutscenes because, you know, it's Final Fantasy. We're gonna get some cutscenes. We see ourselves steal one of the four crystals of light, the crystal of water, from the Mysidians, and we're now on our way to Baron Castle to deliver the crystal to the king. We don't really know why we stole the crystal, but we've got our reasons.
Makes sense.
Interesting part of this, I don't actually have to mash for most, but then once this part starts, I have to mash again. Although, mashing is a bit overrated in this game, because we use the joystick to mash, we just circle it around. You know, that's 8 inputs per rotation, so it makes mashing rather easy. Attacks, and we're done with the fights. We don't care, we just press select and we're done. You'll see that a lot over the course of this run. This run quite heavily abuses the auto battle, which allows me to just get through the fights really, really quickly. It like doubles the speed of the fight, and it automatically does the inputs as soon as possible for me, which makes it rather nice, assuming all the inputs are set up the way they should. So yeah, initial cutscene's over. We're gonna head into Baron Castle. And we're going to get some more introductions as to how and what. We're kind of wondering why the hell we needed to steal a crystal, because, you know, stealing is bad, but I guess that'll work. By the end of that, I get to do the settings. Rule, have you, by any chance, figured out which one actually won?
I sure did. It is the original score.
Ooh, original score. Nice.
Yep.
I like it. Normally, I always run on a ranged because it's like 10 frames faster. But hey, just for the sake of the marathon, I figured we might as well go for it. So we see the Bagan here. He's telling the king that he's not really sure of where our loyalty is at, and that he shouldn't fully trust us. We hand over the crystal, as we normally would. King is happy and all that. And as we are about to walk out, we ask the king, why did we actually need to steal the crystal, because it felt wrong. Because of that, the king now doesn't trust us anymore, and he's going to send us on a mission to the village of Mist, where we need to deliver some ring. Now, our good friend Kane, he's the commander of the Dragoons. He's like, you know what, I'll go with. He's going to join us. So yeah, settings. That's fine. Original, that, okay, should be good. Let's go. So first we're gonna steal from the treasury, because why not? And we're gonna just move on. We're gonna meet up with another character. This is Rosa. She's like the princess or whatever, and you know, she and Cecil are in love. It's all quite sweet. And moving out, we're going to meet yet another one. Now, if you've ever seen anything of the Final Fantasy franchise, you might have heard of a guy named Sid. He's an engineer. He's a pretty cool engineer. We'll be seeing a lot of Sid this time around. So yeah, he talks a bit about, you know, the airship and whatnot. Talk to this lady who's made our bed, and off to sleep. Because you know, it's another lazy day. Because even in
Another
FF4,
lazy
we
day.
continue our lazy day memes. Oh, okay, so Dutch just asked if there was a critical amount of Sid. You will see what a critical amount of Sid is in Evoland 2. So hold your horses till Evoland 2. We might see Crid deal a few, or Sid deal a few criticals, though. That's not out of the question. But we'll get to that when we get there. So, yeah, we're, our next morning, Rosa was a little worried. She talked to us for a bit, and, you know, cutscenes. Let's sit back, let's stretch our legs, and let's enjoy. And I guess while we're at it, I should quickly mention. So I was initially going to have my boy Boxmeister on the commentary here, but as I mentioned in chat, we kind of had a bit of a problem with the mics. So I've got my boy Crrool on the hosting station. Crrool, how about you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Crrool. I do the hosting shift at the midnight hour usually. I talk and I read the donations, and that's mostly what I do.
Yeah, now he's also my co-commentator. So you're gonna be hearing more of Crrool soon. So Crrool, have you ever even played this game?
I think I might have played the beginning on the remake on Steam, because, you know, I was a bit of a sucker and I bought that.
Okay, yeah, Steam, not the greatest of versions.
No, apparently not.
Like, Steam is just, like, honestly, I will personally say this is personally my favorite version. Speedrun-wise, because it's one of the fastest and because it doesn't have step manip. Casually, because it looks nice and it plays natural more so than the other versions do. My first one was the DS version, actually. So yeah, that's... but, you know, I still prefer this one. So let's go. We're going to pick up one of our main creatures that we'll be seeing a few times over the course of this run. And in advance, I'm going to tell you that'll be the winning team of the relay next week. We're going to pick up a Chocobo.
Yeah.
Chocobos are these adorable little bird creatures that they move very fast. They mean that we won't get encounters. They can walk over rivers, which is kind of cool, I guess. And yeah, they'll get us to this cave. So here we go, into Mist Cave. Pretty straightforward dungeon. We're just gonna run from every single enemy. I'm gonna pick up 2 chests on the way. Technically, I don't need both. I could deal with just the one, but just for marathon safety, we're just going to pick up a few potions, because potions are pretty good. Yeah, the enemies in here are kind of pathetic. I'm also already level 10, because we start at level 10 for some reason. So I really don't have to worry about anything. Even the boss is kind of free.
So you mentioned before that using the orchestrated score saves about 10 frames?
Yep.
How does music save frames?
Because you need to switch. It's by default on orchestrated or
Right,
arranged.
okay.
So I need to switch it to the other one. 3,
That makes sense then.
4. So I need to count here how many attacks Cecil does. 5. Nice crit. 6. Okay, cool. That's a quick kill there. You don't always get it. It's completely RNG. If I wouldn't have killed him by the 8th attack, I would have had to switch off of auto and go into defend, because he'd go into the other phase. But if you get lucky, you can kill him before that point. So we're gonna unequip just about everything from Kain, because, you know, we don't need that. We need that stuff. The money is worth more than whatever Kain has on him. And we're gonna walk into the Village of Mist, and the ring that we carried with us here, it actually triggers, and a couple of bomb monsters fly out, and they're gonna destroy the entire town. We don't know why. This is, you know, the king sent us on a mission to apparently, even though we didn't know it, destroy this entire city, or entire village. So yeah, it's a slightly mean king, if you ask me.
Yeah, that seems uncalled for.
Box is making puns on my side here. I'm not even gonna repeat it. So we do find this girl, Rydia. She survived, but her mother passed away because her Eidolon, Mist Dragon, was killed. And legend has it that, you know, if your Eidolon gets killed, the thing you summon, then you would die as well. So, yeah. Having killed her mother, not even knowing that we did, but having killed her mother, she attacks us. And she summons Titan, and, you know, that hurts a lot. And also causes, well, this. You might not expect that from, like, a 7-year-old girl or something, 8-year-old girl, something like that. But apparently she's able to do that. She's quite powerful. So yeah, she gets knocked out herself, we get knocked out, we find her unconscious, and we bring her to the nearest town, which is over here, the desert village of Kaipo. So once entering Kaipo, we're just gonna immediately go to the inn, because like I said, it's another lazy day, and well, we're gonna go take another nap. It's been like, what, 7 minutes since the last one or something?
That is way too long.
I know, right? No, right? It's way too long. So we're gonna sleep again. And, well, as we go sleep, we get attacked. Because the Baron King wasn't very happy about us not returning and reporting about the mission. So he sends some generals our way to get rid of, or a general and some soldiers our way to get rid of us. So we're gonna do this, and that kills him. That's it. That's all there is to it. And now that we've done this really tough fight, we're gonna go to bed again. We're gonna just continue our lazy day. We do, you know, Rydia, she kind of appreciates the fact that we protected her. We stood up for her, so she joins our party. So that's pretty cool.
You killed my mom, but then you protected me, so I guess we're cool.
I suppose that's about how it works. So we're gonna go into this house and we meet up with Rosa, who apparently went after us, but got struck by a desert fever, and she needs the sand pearl in order to survive. We pick up an ether on the way out. We'll need a lot of ethers later on somewhere. That'll come into play near about like the 2-hour 40 mark or something. It'll be a while. But yeah, by that point we need a bunch of ethers, so I'm just gonna pick up as many as I can on the way. And well, now that we've done all of that, we're gonna go in here and we meet up with Tella. And Tella is this old sage, mage, whatever he's supposed to be. Sage, there we go. And he's gonna join our party. Apparently, his daughter ran off with some bard, and he wasn't too happy about that. So we're gonna see if we can rescue her daughter from this bard. Okay, so this is actually an important fight. I need to actually pay attention to this. So we're gonna thunder all 3 of these killer fish.
Well then, if we're gonna pay attention, then we got in €3.50 from Double Drop from Double Drop, who says, "I don't know who's running the cave, but they can have fun with gusto." OPOP. Shoutouts to BSG from Canada and hashtag Team Choco wins.
Hashtag Team Choco wins. Let's go. Double is gonna be running FF2 in the relay. On the same team that I'm at. We're both on Team Chocobo, so you know, hence the reference there. Oh. Nice movement. So we're going to move over to this part. We're just going to basically go through this dungeon, skip just about everything we don't really need. There is a cutscene halfway through the dungeon that we have to sit through, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I've already got most of my battle for the next boss set up. I just need to put Rydia on defend at some point. Other than that, we can just auto through it, at least for the first part. So here we get to a campfire. We see that Rydia is just fast asleep. She's exhausted from the day. We chat a bit, we sleep a bit, and then we're going to move on. There's a lot of sleeping in this game, as you can tell. Then this next part, we're actually going to pick up a chest over here. That's just some money. We'll need a lot of money later on just to be able to buy potions and whatnot. And the more I can pick up now, the easier it is. Now, I should quickly mention why I killed those killer fish earlier, because technically you don't even need to. But the advantage of killing the killer fish there is that Rydia gets an extra level, which is both going to help as a safety measurement for the next fight, because she'll die a little bit less easy. But more importantly, for the boss after that, because the boss after that counters every regular attack that I do. And by having Rydia a level higher, she'll be able to cast an additional summon spell. And that's going to chip down quite a bit of health, for which I don't get damaged, so it's quite convenient. Okay, so I'm gonna save here. I don't normally save here, but for the sake of marathon safety. This next fight, though it hasn't ever killed me, it has trolled me enough to make me slightly worried about it. So we go into this place, and we're just gonna jump down the waterfall.
That seems safe.
I mean, we're the heroes. Nothing can happen, right? That's a rather bad ambush. You really don't want to get ambushed yet. Because it means I need to heal. Luckily, I can just heal them with Tella. It's not a major problem. I've got enough MP for it. I need to... equipment. We're gonna upgrade Cecil's equipment a bit. Have him Cura himself. Cecil only at 1 damage, so I don't need to really worry about that. And we get into the next boss fight. This is the Octomammoth. It's quite a boss.
Whoa! He looks so happy.
Yeah, he's quite a happy little fella. So he's the kind of guy that gets easier as the fight moves on. Early on, he deals a lot of damage, and we really don't want him to kill Tella early on. Okay, I need to heal with Tella.
Hey, kids, do you want to play?
Okay, so we're just gonna Cura like that. That gives Tella more than enough health to tank a bit more. Okay, so from here on, it's pretty straightforward. I actually forgot something. I maybe should have done this right off the bat, but from here we can just go with it. I'm actually supposed to haste with Cecil. It just gets me more attacks and makes the fight go a little bit faster. He's only got 2 tentacles left, at which point he's slowed down quite a bit. So from here on, it should be free. The main thing of this fight is that I need to have Rydia alive by the end of it. The rest of it doesn't really matter, but as long as Rydia is alive, we're good, because she needs the levels. She actually died there in my PB, and it lost me like a minute on the next boss fight. Yeah, that's all of that. And now that we're done with that, we're gonna go into the castle of Dimshian. But as we arrive at the castle, we see a couple of the airships from the Baron Red Wings fly over and just bomb the thing. It's quite brutal. But it turns out that Baron has stolen yet another crystal, the fire crystal.
Dang it.
To be precise. And as we get up, we meet Anna, Tella's daughter, who is heavily wounded on the ground. We get one of the best lines of the game here. You spoony bard! So yeah, that's Tella, you know, attacking the bard that brought Anna here. But after a little while, we hear Anna ask her father to stop, or tell her father to stop. And it turns out that that bard is actually the crown prince of Dimshian. And Anna shielded him with her life. Took a couple of arrows for him. We also hear of Golbez, who apparently was in charge of this attack. So Tella, he's quite upset, and he's gonna go off to find a way to kill off Golbez, because there's no way he's gonna let this go. So Rydia and Edward, they kind of talk about, you know, the losses they had Edward with Anna, Rydia with her mother. We're like, snap out of it, we
Whoa.
need your help. And we tell him that our friend Rosa, she's come down with desert fever and she needs a sand pearl. Now, the only way to get a sand pearl is by one of the royal family members of Dimshian to actually help you. So, it works out nicely.
Oh, she disappeared.
Yep, she disappeared. She's dead.
Oh, people disappear when they die.
We do get one of the coolest things in the game. We get a hovercraft. Hope you guys like hovercrafts. These things are awesome. They're
Sick.
also really fast and really hard to control, but they're pretty awesome. Again, I'm gonna just take a safety save here. Does kind of sound like a real hovercraft in that sense. Really fast and really hard to control. So there's a few items in here that we're going to pick up. Most notably, we're going to pick up a harp. We're not ever actually going to equip it. We solely want that thing for money. Oh, you'll hear about the usefulness of Edward soon. Edward is amazing. He is incredible at losing me time by not dying. That is not actually a joke. We basically have him die off on every fight but one. I get these 3 chests. We're gonna save here. I never trust this cave because a bad back attack can kill off Rydia, and that can lose me like heal items and whatnot. It's just annoying. Pick up the spider silk. Spider silk is something that'll slow down an enemy. It's quite convenient. And off to the antlion's nest we go. This is where the antlion is, and he has like a bunch of these sand pearls that we need. Now, normally these things are really tame. They don't really do much, so we want to pick up one of these things. Edward is like, yeah, not to worry, and then that thing actually attacks. So we're gonna fight the antlion here. So we're gonna have Edward defend throughout basically the entire fight, and we hope that he dies. We're gonna have Rydia Chocobo kick. Now, as you might be able to tell, every time I attack with Cecil, he does a counter attack. Every time I attack with Rydia, he does nothing. So Rydia is actually what makes this fight possible and what makes it like a lot more easy, or like even realistically possible for us to kill the boss at this level. Because we get 4 of these Chocobo attacks in. Okay, so Edward is actually at a really good health. I need you to not kill off Rydia, please. Thank you. That's the last Chocobo kick, so that's good. That's fine, because she was done anyway. If you could kill off Edward for me, that'd be nice. Thank you. So from here on, we just attack until he dies. There we go. Really good fight. Just a solid fight all in all. So we get the Sand Pearl, and with that we can now head back to Rosa, deliver the Sand Pearl to her, and make sure she's back in good health. Now, as we go there, Crrool, how about you tell us a little bit about, you know, the charity and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. We are, as every month and every annual, gathering money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is an amazing charity which aims to prevent cancer and alleviate the suffering of those already battling the disease. As with annual, 90% of all of your donations will go directly towards the Dutch Cancer Society, and 10% will be used to upgrade our stream quality. So definitely get your donations in, guys. It is a great charity. If you have the chance, check out the interview we had with one of their officials at Annual. They're a great charity.
Yeah, moving on, we get to Rosa, and, you know, how long has it been since we last took a nap?
Like 13 minutes, I think.
13 minutes, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
I feel that's quite lengthy.
Almost twice as long as before.
Yeah, so I think we're going to take another nap. We do, however, Edward, he's not as keen on taking naps, so we'll see him walk out. He's going to play his lute by the lake here. So as he's playing the lute, apparently some monster didn't really appreciate that. So he gets attacked. So this is actually a fight that you can game over on. So you need to actually attack him and preferably get a few hits in. There we go. If you defend for too long or you miss a lot in a row, you have a small chance of dying. I've never had it happen in a run before, but, well, except for one time that I forgot to switch him off of defend and then I suddenly just died. But you can technically die there. It's rather annoying. It's kind of, you know, you get that battle, Edward sees the ghost of Anna, and because of that he has the courage to actually do something again. And then he can just one-shot the monster after that. We take our amazingly uncontrollable hovercraft, as you can tell, and we're gonna go to the mountain over here. Oh, whoops. Before I save, I should first do this. Because Rosa has now joined our party, and Rosa is quite good. She's a white mage, and she'll play one of the biggest roles of any party member in the entire game. She's just cool like that. It's a very early encounter. And we get another quick cutscene here. There's these ice blocks in the way. I don't know how they'd be in the way, because it definitely doesn't look like it'd be freezing, but there's these ice blocks in the way. But because Rydia's town, the Village of Mist, was destroyed by the Ring of Fire that we used earlier, she doesn't really want to use fire magic. However, Rosa manages to convince her that, you know, it's for the greater good, and that then she uses her fire magic, and, you know, we can move on. So this is Mount Hops, and well, we're just gonna climb to the top and we're gonna get into another cutscene.
All right, we got in €4 from Kespert, who says, "Shout out to Crrool for having me find out about BSG. Good luck to this weekend's runners, and looking forward to tonight's Evoland run. PogChamp."
Yo, Kepserd, when are you gonna join us, dude? So yeah, we see Yang, and we decide to help him out after we've seen him kill almost every single enemy that even was there to begin with. And we're gonna fight the Mom Bomb. I didn't really mean for Edward to attack. So yeah, this is what happens if Edward doesn't die. He goes into hiding, which has an amazing cutscene tied to it. It's very annoying. But yeah, we just chip down his health a bit until he gets to the point where he's about to blow up.
Bomb. It's gonna explode.
It's gonna explode. There we go. The massive explosion. We're gonna use a bronze hourglass. And we just start attacking. Okay. Edward, can you just stop doing just about anything? Yeah, the bronze hourglass, it casts stop, and that basically prevents them from moving for a few turns. More than enough for me to kill everyone off. That's it. That's the Mom Bomb fight. Yang is gonna join our party. We tell him about, you know, the people from wherever it is, Baron. They're gonna attack, or they're gathering the crystals. So we figure, okay, then we need to head to Fabul right now to protect the crystal that's over there, because they have the wind crystal apparently. We're gonna also quickly unequip a few more party members because, you know, money. We need their money more. There we go. That's quite a bit of damage we took there. I'm gonna actually... Normally I don't do this, but I'm gonna just cure them to secure that I actually will survive. This next part isn't too hard, and there really isn't much that can go wrong, but encounters can be kind of a pain. So now for a very long and boring walk to Fabul.
Dude.
It's really not much to tell, so...
The grandmother's house we go.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this like I said, this is just a walk towards the next castle, and once we're in the castle, cool stuff will happen again. We get a little bit of a break here. Okay, that's enough of a break. Let's go. So we enter Fabul Castle, and, well, we're going to talk to the king about what we know of Baron, you know, trying to take over the world and whatnot. Just for reference, by the way, Baron has, like, the biggest army in the world, so they're not one to be trifled with, for sure. And Fabul is the city of the monks, so they're great at martial arts, but, you know, some extra protection doesn't help. So we're going to head out of the castle, we're going to set up some defenses. Rydia and Rosa are going to stay behind, because it's smart to keep your healer behind. I'm going to use the Antarctic Wind. Defend with him, and that's it. We're just going to auto from here. So same story as before, we want Edward to die off, because he's really useless if he doesn't, and he will actually lose me a few seconds, because if he gets into critical HP and goes into hiding, the hiding animation will play every single fight that still remains, and there is still quite a few fights that we do in this castle. Other than that, all of the fights are really straightforward, we just attack. That's what I mean. Because he leveled, he got into critical HP, so now that animation is going to play every single fight that we do. Loses like 10 seconds or something. It's a lot of time we lose on it. Yeah, slowly but steadily, the Baron soldiers, or rather the monsters, they're pushing back towards the throne room. This is just the part where we sit back. See, there you go. There's the hide animation again. Really annoying. That's why I don't like Edward. He's got some cool moments, but other than that, it's just a pain. So as we pull back, we think we're smart, and we're actually going to lock the door behind us so that they can't easily enter, but then it turns out that this guy, he was a monster all along, and he's going to attack us after he has unlocked the door. And even more monsters. This takes a while. There's, I believe, 2 more fights after this one. Luckily, due to the combination of auto battle and just the fact that we can quite easily kill them with regular attacks, these fights don't actually take very long. This is also the part where you see the biggest difference between the PSP version and pretty much every other version. Just the speed at which these fights play out. It's pretty good. We get into the crystal room, and well, we find an unlikely enemy here, because it turns out Kane is the one to have come and get the crystal. You know, that guy that helped us destroy Mist earlier, and that was like, yeah, we need to stop Baron. Yeah, apparently he's now on Baron's side, and yeah, he kind of wipes the floor with me. So Rydia and Rosa run in, and then a little bit after that, we see the big bad guy himself, Golbez, come in. And, well, it's bad news for us, that's for sure. Rydia tries to stop Kane. Cecil is like, no, Rydia, don't do it. And then Golbez figures, oh, so she's important? Well, then he's gonna kidnap her. Now we need to also save Rosa in the process. So now we don't just have the crystals to worry about, we also have Rosa to worry about.
So many things to worry about.
There's so many problems with this, isn't there, Crrool?
Yeah. It's like that one song about all of the problems.
So yeah, all of the men are like, yeah, what are we gonna do now, and how are we gonna make this right? And then Rydia is like, guys, dude, snap out of this. Like, who's the grown-up here? Pick up the Hermes sandal there, because that's pretty useful later. And we're gonna take another nap.
Oh, wonderful.
It's been a couple of minutes, right?
Yeah. It's been like 9 minutes or something.
Something like that. So a good time to take another nap, especially since the next one will be a while, actually. But yeah, we take a nap and we go talk to the king. King getting
King's also
injured during the
taking a nap.
fight. Yeah, the king was also taking a nap. He actually got injured. So he gives us a really useful sword, so that's kind of cool for later. We're gonna pick up that Bacchus wine. That NPC that was walking around can actually get stuck on the on the pathway to the stairs, and that can lose you a couple of seconds. That actually happened during my PB run. It was really annoying. So off we go, and well, we're gonna take a ship because we're gonna take a ship towards Baron and face the king. Why we would do that with just the 4 of us, I don't know, but we're gonna do that.
Because you're the main characters, duh.
Of course. But yeah, Yang's wife says, or waves us goodbye. And she's like, don't worry about Fabul, I'll make sure to keep it safe with my frying pan. She's quite strong, actually. She's a really strong woman. All of the women in Fabul are. They're quite well trained in martial arts. You actually see that in the After Years, which is like the sequel to this, where you meet Yang's daughter, Ursula, and she is quite a strong young lady. So yeah, more cutscenes. So while cutscenes play, Rule, how about you go for some incentives or something?
Absolutely. We have a bunch of incentives for you to donate towards. Just like getting catified in Goat Simulator, or saving or killing the humans there, because, you know, why kill or save the animals when you can kill or save the humans? In Sonic Heroes Team, we have a glitch exhibition, which you can donate towards. There's already 10 euros in there out of the 125 needed. So get your donations in for a lot of that stuff. And of course, don't forget to donate towards Buttfish.
Ooh, Buttfish! Sorry, I had to say it. I as always, I'm slightly biased towards Buttfish, although we won't actually see Buttfish itself in that run. Well, it's unlikely though, isn't it? Mitch is saying maybe, so we might get a Buttfish in that run. So, as we are traveling by ship, we kind of get attacked by Leviathan. So, you know, if things weren't bad already, it just went from bad to worse. And, well, let's hope we'll get through that all right. But Rydia gets knocked off the ship. Yang, being heroic as he is, jumps after her in an attempt to save her. In trying to, you know, properly grab on, Edward misses out as well, so that's kind of bad. So, yeah, and then this happens.
Oh, he's pretty.
So, a good point, by the way, by Box. Box just mentioned that in both this version and the SNES version, it kind of looks like Cecil throws off Yang, but, you know, naturally he doesn't. Yeah, we end up on this beach all alone. Everybody's gone. And, well, we're going to go into the city of Mysidia, the city of the mages, the one where we took the crystal in the opening cutscene. Now I actually need to scroll like a bunch through my notes to actually get to like the shopping menu. Hello. Hello. Thank you. That can happen sometimes. So we talk to the Elder, and the Elder is like, yeah, why would we help you? But he gives us a trial to prove our worth. Apparently, if we go to Mount Ordeals and complete the trials, he will help us. As a way of helping me, he's gonna send his 2 kids, Palam and Poram, to help us along on this quest. They're 2 quite gifted mages, so that should be quite helpful. He does mention nobody has ever returned from Mount Ordeals. Hello.
Wow. Everybody's in the way today. Funeral Air just donated 10 euros and says good luck to all the runners and keep up the good work. Since there are no white windows for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, this one goes to Crrool's choice for a capsule monster.
I mean, you know who that's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Like, there can be only one, and it is Buttfish. 2 of those and a shield. We're gonna pick the flame rod here, and everything else we're just gonna spend on hello, come on, really? Wow, these mages today. Okay, 28 high potions. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, we're out of the NPC hell right there. Wizard hat. No order. There we go. So, on to Mount Ordeals. We have everything we need. I should actually also sort my inventory so that I've got my high potions near the top. So as we climb Mount Ordeals, there's a few things we're going to do. First and foremost, we want to actually kill a few enemies so that Palom gets the Blizzara move, which is the upgraded version of Blizzard. That'll speed up the next boss fight quite a bit. So that's first and foremost. So we need to kill a few enemies. It's like the first time in the game we're actually going to grind a little bit. And then on the way down later, we're going to grind a little bit more because I want Cecil to reach a specific level as well. I'll get more into that when we get there, but just so you guys are aware. So this is actually the mountain where we're going to do the first part of the grinding segment. Also, if you ever wondered how much faster this version would be than the SNES version, so the SNES version, contrary to this one, is not glitchless. It uses a glitch, which gets you pretty overpowered stuff and a lot of money early on. On top of that, the SNES version has a step manip, which this version doesn't have. And it reaches the end, or a cutscene that's on top of this tower. I'll point that one out specifically, around the 1 hour mark. So as you can, even though I don't have a timer here, as you can probably tell by the timer, assuming I didn't completely screw up, that's going to be quite a bit less than an hour. Just on the first hour alone, this category is like, I want to say like 20 minutes faster or something. Maybe more like 15, but maybe Rule can tell us what time we're at, because I have no clue.
Right now, we are at 41 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's not bad. That's definitely not over an hour yet, so we're fine.
And now you're at 42 minutes.
Okay, if this is a Lamia, that'd be perfect. Thank you. So yeah, Lamias are one of the highest experience yielding encounters in this place, and they die to 2 high potions. They are really convenient. My PB actually got super lucky in getting a Lamia on the way up and several Lamias on the way down, which is the best RNG you can get. Especially getting one before you get to the... before you trigger the cutscene that's coming up in just a second. So yeah, we already learned Blizzara. There we go, that was easy. So yeah, you especially want that before this cutscene triggers. That's how close we were. So that's really good RNG. That can save upwards of like a minute and a half. So it's quite good. It might also not nearly have saved that much, but it's still nice to get that early. So yeah, Tella was on this mountain trying to find a spell called Meteor, the most powerful spell in the game. And well, we run into him, so he's going to join our party, and he's going to just stumble along to the top, see if we can complete our quest. What we do, we're going to do a little bit of equipment here. Deathbringer there, wizard hat, there we go. Because we already leveled, I can now just run from everything. That Lamia would have been nice on the way down. You may have noticed that we've been dropping some gil every time we run. I don't actually have to worry about that at all. I'm gonna save here because I really don't trust this place. Healed, we've saved, we should be good to go. So we hear some hissing noises, and then once we get to the bridge on top, we meet the first of the 4 elemental archfiends, Scarmiglione or Mylon. Wait, what? Oh, he's got a Mylon or a Scarmiglione t-shirt on. That's pretty awesome. That's Mitch in the back. He's apparently got that thing. I don't know if that was intentional, but we're just gonna say that it was. So yeah, we're gonna just defend here. We're gonna bluff a few more times with Palom. That's to secure that I can kill him off with 2 Blazzaras. And then we're gonna Blazzara him. There we go. Now, if you've got FFZ, then you might have an emote which says "Oh my body." Now this is the boss we use it for. I kind of should have maybe healed before this. I also should have switched row, but that's fine.
Healing is for wusses.
It does have slightly different text in this game, yeah.
Mitch just isn't on stream, so we can't see the shirt right now.
Okay. We can defend with him. Hira there. High potion in case that doesn't kill. I may have... Okay, there we go. We got him. So that worked out nicely, even though I completely screwed up. You're supposed to switch rows in the menu and whatnot, but this works. So yeah, that was Scarmiglione. That's the first of the elemental archfiends. And that fight went surprisingly well. So we're gonna unequip everything from Cecil. So yeah, this cutscene right here, this is usually in an SNES run about at the 1 hour mark. So that just gives you a general idea of how much faster this version is, even though we don't have step manip and even though we don't RNG manip, or even though we don't have any glitches to use. So we hear a voice once we talk to that tablet, and well, we get ourselves a sword, and we turn into a paladin. Now we get to fight ourselves. We're gonna equip a shield. This is why we bought that shield, and we're just gonna defend. That's all we're gonna do this fight. We're gonna defend. Just gonna sit it out. And that's the fight. It's supposed to tell you that a paladin protects rather than attacks. So, you know, as long as you defend for a few turns in a row, he'll eventually die. So yeah, this is where Paladin percent ends on the SNES version. It's a pretty popular race and tournament category. So Cecil becomes a paladin. In turn, Tella learns the spell Meteor. He unlocks all of the other spells that we really didn't have yet up until this point. Somewhere in here, I believe we also get a full heal, so I guess that counts as a nap. We'll get more naps soon, don't worry. It's been a while, but like I said, this is like one of the longest segments without.
I was getting tired, man.
We'll be getting more naps soon, so not to worry. Yeah, the interesting thing is, Tella does not have enough MP to cast Meteor. So even though he has Meteor now, he can't actually use it.
Good.
That's kind of the tricky thing with Meteor in general. You get the spell, you get it really, really early like that, but you can't actually make use of it. Maybe should have killed that. That's whatever. I always prefer saving before we head down, because if you make a mistake here, it can be quite bad. So I prefer saving before I start my grinding. Okay, I accidentally went to auto when I shouldn't have gone to auto.
There's a lot of zombies.
Yeah, we'll get rid of these zombies though. We've got really good strats to get rid of them. We potion them until they die. See? Solid strats, right?
Yeah.
Now you could do this in other Final Fantasies before this. FF3 has this as well, I know. Because we actually use this in the FF3 speedrun as well. It's a pretty convenient strat. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cast Bio on ourselves.
Yeah, that seems safe.
That kills off everyone but Cecil. And it poisons Cecil. And then we kill off the last one so that all the experience goes to him. So now he went from level 1 to level 10, which is quite convenient for us. The poison wears off, and, well, we've got... Yeah, this is the encounter you ideally want to have. This, oh, whoops. This or 2 of these. I've got more than enough high potions to work with, so we should be fine. We want Cecil to hit level 15. That's the level where it's safe for me to properly move on. I need 2 more levels. Okay. Downside of autoing using high potions is that if you auto during a high potion, it automatically would target the first party, or the first member in your party, which is Palam, who's kind of dead right now. So it doesn't actually do anything. So I need to select it for every single enemy. That's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Especially because that means that I'm about to run out of high potions as well. But I need 1 more level right now. Then we're good to go.
I mean, it's no Warp 7 tomes, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the using spell tomes, but hey, this works too, right? Thank you. Oh, this is a fun-looking encounter. Okay, should be fine. I should have the health to be able to get this down, and this will get me the level I need. There we go. We also get Cura, which is kind of convenient. We're gonna use a Phoenix down on Tella real quick. And we're gonna just heal up these guys.
So, do you later get a party member called Pen?
No, we don't.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So over here, there is another Chocobo forest, and you know, like I said before, hashtag Team Choco wins, clearly. Be sure to watch the relay next week to see how Team Chocobo easily defeats Team Mog. I might be slightly biased because I'm on Team Chocobo.
Hashtag Team Choco wins.
So yeah, we take another Chocobo, and we're gonna move back to Mysidia. Meet up with the mages again, show us that we have actually completed the trial. We succeeded. Hold on, I'm actually gonna be smart. I know, moving out of town doesn't seem smart, but I just realized I hadn't actually saved in like 5 minutes, so that entire grind hadn't been saved yet. And even though this next part shouldn't ever be able to kill you, I have found ways to do so. So, yeah, we talked to the Elder. He tells us that we did succeed, and we get to see another cutscene. This is a legend. This is actually a cutscene that'll play twice this entire run, and it is unskippable both times.
So does this count as a nap?
There's a nap coming up. There's a really good nap coming up. Yeah, we've got good naps coming soon. So I suggest holding on with napping just a little longer.
All right. I'll hold on to my resident sleepers.
Yeah, it's this entire prophecy of whatever this is all about. At this point, this prophecy makes absolutely no sense, by the way. Later on, it kind of does, but at this point, it kind of makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, epic music kicks in, and we get to get moving. So they're going to open up a passage for us that we're going to go through in order to get bit to Baron. It's like a direct connection between this place and Baron. I'm not really sure what it's called again. It has a name, but I can't remember. We also learned, by the way, that the reason Palom and Porom went with us was to spy on us. During the trial, they wanted to see that we completed it fair and square. So as we go through this thing, you get like the worst music in the game. This is my least favorite track. Just this really creepy, dark track as you go through a passage where there's nothing at all happening. Ah, cool. Box is looking up what it was called. I don't remember. So we're gonna go to the inn, and you'd think, oh, that means we're gonna take a nap, right? But not yet. We're gonna meet up with Yang, who's now under control of Golbez as well. Okay, so if I hadn't stopped auto there, Tella would have bioed me, and that would have been rather bad. So now he didn't bio me, and we get to kill off the soldiers. And thus we get into a fight with Yang. He's gonna defend with both. He's gonna kick twice. And after the second kick, I just need to attack him in order to defeat him. There we go. That's it. And now that we've broken the spell over Yang, now we're gonna go take a nap. He tells us what happened at Leviathan, and you know, he doesn't know where Edward or Riddy are, but he's alive and well, so he's gonna join our party. And before we head out and face the king, you guessed it, we're gonna go sleep.
Oh, it's
What was
coming
it?
up.
Yeah. The Devil's Road, of course. So yeah, Palom is the first to hit the hay, and the rest will soon follow. We kind of make up a plan. We get the Baron Key, which will come into play soon. We're gonna move on. I do need to quickly check what my next equipment, or what my next menu is, because I've got a shopping menu coming up. So yeah, that was the nap. Like I said, it took a while, but we got it done. We did it. We're good for a while again. So we're gonna go over here because we can. We're gonna buy 4 of those. I don't have enough money yet for the other one, but I can sell that, and now we have enough for another Kenpo-G. I don't think 700 is enough, so I'll have to sell... Oh, what can I sell? The Shadow Blade. Ice Claw, Lightning Claw, there we go. Okay, now I have all of the shopping done. That's a secret passage that you're actually supposed to be able to use. Okay, equip. This is always one of my worst menus, so we optimum him. Cecil gets the headband and the Kenpo-G. Tella, you get a regular rod. Tella gets the flame rod. And the... Is that it? That's it. Okay, order... Porom, Tella and Cecil, and Yang and Palom. Okay, now we're good. So we're gonna go through the sewers here in order to get to the castle itself. It's all in all a pretty straightforward path. There's really not much to say about it. We're gonna save along the way because the 2 bosses in the castle. Yes, there are gonna be a couple of bosses in the castle. The two bosses in the castle are actually kind of tough. So, you know, in order to not lose all of that progress we just got, let me just save in there. It's actually not that likely to die on any of this, at least as long as you do the strats properly. But for the sake of the marathon, I'm just going to save everywhere. Oh, you mean these? By whichever I choose them, that's how you determine which sprite you're at. I can switch however often I want. Yeah, you can actually switch the overworld sprites however much you please. So yeah, I can just do that. I generally just put it to 1 and then leave it at that because it's rather annoying at times to have to constantly switch them, but you can. Especially in the SNES run, where the movement is rather slow, there's quite a few people that just switch characters, you know, while nothing is going on. But since the movement in this one is a lot faster, it's also a lot more tight, so you kind of, you know, you can play around with it, but you don't usually do that too much. So we get into Baron Castle again, and we're gonna meet up with Baigen, you know, that guy that betrayed us earlier, but we don't know that yet. We're gonna go with him and talk to the king. He and the royal guard, or Baigen of the royal guards joins our party, but something smells fishy here.
It's probably the fish.
It's probably the fish, but okay, kind of tough fight here. Attack, and bluff, black magic, Blizzaga. So now I need to pay attention that I don't have another Blizzaga with Tella. So we're gonna bluff until the Reflect wears out, and we're gonna hope that Palom doesn't die in the meantime. I don't really care about everybody else, I just need Palom to survive. Okay, good. So now we're gonna have him Thundara both. And that's it, that's Baigen. Really good fight. That went about how you'd like it to go. So now comes one of the harder fights in the game, and this is actually the first time that I'm going to switch the battle speed that we're on. But before I do, we're going to heal up my party a bit. I go into the... Oh, I did not mean to go into the Bestiary. Rip 10 seconds. So I'm going to go into battle speed. I'm going to set it to 3. You'll see what the difference is in battle speed and how that slows down the fight significantly, but it makes this fight a lot more consistent. Because your windows on certain attacks are rather small. So yeah, like I said, moves a lot slower here.
I love this guy.
So this is Kignatso. He's the elemental fiend of water, and he's a jerk. He's got this move where he can do this, and then summon a tsunami. And him summoning tsunamis is kind of bad news for me. So we deal with that in the only way we know how. By basically just killing him off like that. The way you break a tsunami is by using a lightning attack move, so we use Palom to do that. And then once it's broken, we use the Blizzaga to basically kill him off entirely. So we've killed the king, and Sid now walks in. We tell him what happened, and he's gonna get us out of here. He's gonna we're gonna get one of his airships, and he's gonna join our party. So that's pretty cool. Now we've got a 6th party member. This party is starting to get big finally. Yeah, we get some, you know, some dialogue, and then we're gonna move out of here. But as we get into the next room, it turns out it was a trap all along, because Gignazzo had set one final trap. And, well, the walls are going to close in on us. It's pretty bad. He literally just wants us to crush us. But Palam and Porom, they've got a great idea. They're gonna get ready, and they're gonna petrify themselves and stop the wall through that. We'll see more of them later, because even though Tella is actually unable to recover them, Esena on them doesn't work. The spells from the Elder Mage would work. He's powerful enough to break this spell, but they've petrified themselves out of their own will, and thus they cannot be unpetrified. Unless it's some really, really powerful mage. So yeah, well, that'll be it for Palam and Porom for a little while. We're gonna have to say goodbye to them. We see a bit of a cutscene between Golbez and Kain. It looks like they've got Rosa captured. And they've devised quite the plan in order to get the fourth and last crystal. Yeah, the one thing we want to achieve is that they do not get all of the 4 crystals, because apparently if the 4 crystals get combined, that'd be just bad news. Bad stuff would happen. We'll see what kind of bad stuff, maybe, but bad stuff would happen. So we get onto the airship, and, well, time for us to head out. Now that we've got this fancy-looking airship that we stole, or borrowed without asking, we see another airship flying with a white flag. That is the airship from Kain. Turns out they've got quite the deal for us. We're gonna get Rosa back in return for the Earth Crystal. He tells us that the only way for us to get Rosa back alive is by handing them the last of the 4 crystals. So yeah, that's it. We need to get the 4th crystal in order to save Rosa's life. So that puts us in quite a bad position, because now we've got the choice between handing them the 4th crystal, which would be bad news, or having Rosa die off, and that'd be quite bad as well. So we're going to return to the Village of Mist. You can still see the damage of our attack from earlier. Because we're going to get a weapon, the Dancing Dagger. That's the weapon that you get very early on in the SNES version due to Mist Clip. We're also going to go in here. Get a few more items. This is some pretty powerful stuff. And once all of that is done, we're just going to teleport out. I'm not going to repeat what he said. That's another bad pun. There's a lot of bad puns from Box, but I shouldn't be surprised. So on to the city of, or the kingdom of Troya, which is where the Earth Crystal is at. There is a bit of a problem, because the Earth Crystal has actually been stolen, not by the people from Baron, but by the Dark Elf. And as we get in here, we walk into the infirmary, and it turns out that Edward was here all along. After he got thrown off the ship, he somehow ended up in Troya, where he's been recovering from his injuries ever since. So the good news is, Edward is still alive. Bad news is he's kinda unable to do anything. Then again, he was kinda useless to begin with, so I guess it might not even be a bad thing. I mean, a cold would be... A cold, bit of a fever, I can definitely imagine that happening. So, what they don't tell us here... also, maybe I should set that back to 1. What they don't tell us here is that there's actually... we actually struck a deal with the the people in charge of that city, if we can recover the Earth Crystal from the Dark Elf, they will lend us the Earth Crystal. So now all we need to do is actually get it. We're going to talk to a white Chocobo to recover some MP, and talk to a black Chocobo, because black Chocobos can fly. We're going to use that to fly over there. So, Fox just pointing out that every Chocobo theme in every game from this one onward being a different style of music. But yeah, anyway, this dungeon is kind of an interesting one. The way that this dungeon works is there's this magnetic field, because of which everybody wearing anything made of metal is basically going to get paralyzed. We have to get through this with only Sid, because he's the only one that doesn't have any metal weapons. I could unequip the others, but that'd be slow. Have a few items over there. We're just gonna make this place go by quickly. There really isn't much we need to do. Got the Fairy Claw, that's for later. And on to the boss. So the boss is a really, really tough fight, as you'll see. I'm gonna equip Sid, because, you know, with this equipment, he'd actually stand a chance. There we go. And we died. Well, that was it. That's GG right there. It's over. We died trying to recover the Earth Crystal. But in our moment of greatest trouble, it turns out that Edward comes to the rescue. He gave us
with the power of naps.
With the power of naps and music, he actually gave us a leaf earlier, which allows us to, or allows him to communicate to us. Like everything that he'd hear, we would be able to hear as well. So he plays this song, and apparently, for some reason, that causes the Dark Elf to, you know, no longer being able to cast his spell that prevents him from, or prevents us from being able to use metallic weapons. So we get another chance. I'm gonna quickly put. No, that's good. That's good. Okay, so yeah, boss fight incoming. This is the Dark Elf. Pretty straightforward boss fight. He is weak to everything made of metal, so that puts us in quite a good position because we've got some pretty good metallic weapons coming. Also, his spells, as you can tell, they don't really do much to me. Okay, he tornadoes. He always tornadoes somebody, but Yang is fine. Ideally, you just don't want that to be Tella. So yeah, that wasn't even his final form. He turns into a dragon. And in his dragon form, I can tornado it. I just need this to hit. This can actually miss, and that's really bad. But as long as it hits, we just finish him off like that. Tornado puts his health at a value somewhere between 1 and 10. And let's not forget the crystal here. So we just drop his health to that, and then we just need one singular attack from just about anybody to kill him off immediately. Get the Earth Crystal, and we're gonna get out of this place. Wait, magic. So that's it. We've got the Earth Crystal recovered. We've defeated the Dark Elf, and now we can move on. I guess as we're heading to this next place, Crrool, I'm gonna give it over to you for a little bit because I am really starting to run out of things to talk about. So yeah, feel free to just plug just about everything that needs
Everything that needs plugging.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's fix some holes then. We are running up front in support of the Dutch Cancer Society, which is an amazing charity which aims to prevent and fight cancer and alleviate the suffering of those already battling the disease. 90% of all of your donations will go directly towards the Dutch Cancer Society, guys. Yeah, amazing. And of course, it's September, so get your subs in, guys. Only $2.50 to get subscribed and get our amazing BSG hype and BSG time emotes.
And 2 more great emotes already lined up. They are currently pending, and I'm expecting those to be live within a day or 2.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely look out for those because they're gonna be here soon-ish. Then we have a bunch of more stuff to donate towards in the form of bids. We have a Guitar Hero challenge in Evoland 2. So, I'm wondering what that is. If you're wondering what that is as well, donate towards that, because it only has a goal of 75 euros to be met. And then we're going to see some Guitar Hero challenge happening. Of course, in Lufia 2, there is the Rise of the... in Rise of the Seneschals, you can choose the capsule monster. And right now, Zeppi is leading by a little bit. So if you want to see anybody else than Buttfish, donate towards that. I do believe that Michi has said that if he gets the right combination of spells and stuff, he will actually make it a Buttfish. So that is amazing. And a little earlier, we have Goat Simulator, in which you can donate towards killing or saving the humans. So enough reason to donate towards us and the Dutch Cancer Society. Get it in, guys. Speaking of which, Glitter Factory just donated 15 euros without any comment. Thank you so much for your generous donation.
So I guess I should quickly recap as to what happened. We entered the Tower of Zot. Kane took us here. We picked up a flame armor and a flame sword, which will come into play very soon. And now we're just making our way to the top where Rosa supposedly is. As well as Golbez, as well as everybody, basically. We're also coming up on one of the harder boss fights of the run. I need some serious time for that fight specifically. You've got a very, very small window to hit a certain attack. And if you hit it, it saves like 30 seconds. It's quite a big time save, but the window is really small, and if you mess it up, it can be quite bad as well. Okay, so here we go. Now, also, before we do, I figure, I mean, it might just be me, but I think we're going to take a nap. We're going to use a tent this time to take a nap, but we're going to take another nap.
Thank goodness.
It had been too long.
Yeah, I was getting worn out.
We're going to save real quick. And, well, here we go. I'm going to put battle speed down to 2. That's still faster as long as we get it. So this is the super mega ultra no dilly dally quick in a hurry fast battle. Try saying that 10 times in a row. Yeah, good try, Box. Good try. Yeah, this is why we, it looks like we got it. I'm gonna wait this one out real quick. Okay, so I want that bio. That's the one we were looking for to go off before this happened. Because now she's reflected, and now it would be cast back to me, which should be rather bad. Basically, these sisters, they'll always cast magic back to me, because of which reflect on me wouldn't do anything. So we're just gonna attack and kill them off from here. From here on, it's a pretty easy fight. It's mostly that first one that you just need to get off. This is just that, you know, what is it? Like 1,500 damage or so that you just get very early on, and that just makes the middle sister weaken quite a bit. Once the middle one is down, the rest goes down pretty quickly. Because they won't actually be able to revive, and from there on it's just a few bio casts to kill them off. Taking it a little bit slow here so that I can actually get a bio. I kind of meant to do that on the back sister, but that's all right. She'll go down in no time as well. There we go. So yeah, that was the Super Mega Ultra No Dilly Dally Quick in a Hurry Fast fight. Box is trying. He's catching on to it. Okay, so we're gonna unequip everything from Tella. We don't need that anymore. We're gonna use his magic to recover. Okay. And now that that's done, it's time for more cutscenes! Because we're good at cutscenes. Technically, I could have switched battle speed back to 1, but I kind of want to keep it on 2 for a few bosses coming up. Because there's a few points where there are a few bosses coming up where it kind of helps me to have it on 2. So we first get to fight Golbez. He's going to use all of his most powerful spells because, you know, Golbez did kill his daughter after all. But they don't really seem to be doing much. So by this point, he's got 0 MP left. He's already in -20. And, well, he's going to cast the ultimate spell, Meteor, that he doesn't have enough MP for, and that will kill him if he uses it. But he doesn't care. He's going to use it anyway. It does defeat Golbez, I'll give it that. So yeah, Kain gets knocked out in the process as well, as does Tella. Well, Golbez, he is not quite out just yet. Because we face Golbez head on and he tries to attack us, but then something seems to happen. I don't really know why he doesn't actually kill us, but something seems to happen that seems to be rather off. So Tella, having used up all of his energy to actually be able to cast that spell, is going to be joining his daughter, and he passes away as well. So that's Rip Tella. So we talk to Kain. We ask him where Rosa is. Kain actually having snapped out of the curse from Golbez because of that meteor. And we just in time managed to save Rosa. So this is actually a bit where I kind of need to pay attention. Because if I do this wrong, I can cause some serious damage here. Because I'm one tile off of a boss trigger in a little bit. And if I triggered the boss there, then that'd be really bad. Okay, so I'm going to switch off of the joystick from here on. And just going to regularly mash. Just to make sure that I don't accidentally hit a boss trigger before I do my equipment. Because one tile down from here is the next boss fight. I'm gonna optimize Rosa. I'm gonna... Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Flame Mail is fine. Wizard Hat. It's gonna be Headband. That should be good. Headband, Campo, Fire Sword. We need to remove that one. Change the order a little bit. I think that's good like this, right? Yes. Okay, on to the next fight. So this is the third of the Elemental Archfiend. This is going to be Barbarisha, the Fiend of Wind. She's quite strong, as you'll see. We're gonna slow her twice. Bacchus's Wine, what that does is it causes Sid to go into Berserk mode. It's quite useful for this fight. And there's the first slow that actually hit. We need to slow her at least twice in order to ensure that she won't be able to kill us off very quickly. From here on, the fight should be a lot easier. With Sid in Berserk mode, Sid will do a lot of damage. Yeah, nothing will connect right now until I hit another jump, except for the attacks from Sid because of the Berserk. He's so powerful that he can actually just push through this. That should just about do it. There we go. Good fight. It's 3 of the 4 elemental archfiends down. So now that we've actually killed Barbarisha, the Tower of Zot is going to collapse, and Rosa decides to teleport us out. Not that she could have already done that before the boss fight started, but hey. Just for the added dramatic effect, I guess. Or when she was captured. I guess then her hands were bound, so she might not have been able to cast any spells. So we get teleported back into Baron Castle, into the tower, and well, let's get moving, I guess. We get the magma key, which supposedly unlocks the path to the underworld, because it turns out the 4 crystals, even though they might have them, are not the only 4 crystals. There are 4 more, the 4 dark crystals. And the thing they want to do, that doesn't actually work until they get all 8 of the crystals together. We've got a little bit more time. We just need to secure the crystals from the dark world. Luckily, the passageway, there we go, into the Dark World is right here. We drop the Magma Stone in this well, and we get a cutscene of, well, this happening. Not really sure if I'd still want to be in that village on the bottom of that mountain, but sure.
That's the second village we destroy with fire.
Well, this village isn't actually destroyed. It's fine. That's the weird thing. But it has given us a passage into the Dark World. Or into the Underworld, I should say. It isn't really so much the Dark World. And as we arrive, we immediately end in the middle of a battlefield between the Baron Redwings, who've managed to get to already get their passage into this place, and the tanks from the dwarves. We're kind of like right in the middle of that. Well, and as we get hit, we make a crash landing somewhere, which conveniently for us is right in front of the dwarven castle. Now, the next fight coming up, that's actually, you might remember that I said, like, the last fight that was one of the hardest fights in the game. Yeah, the next fight is the hardest fight in the game. It's easily the hardest boss, and easily the one you can lose the most time on. So we're gonna switch order there. I'm gonna unequip basically everything here. Should be good. Gonna save. This is a very important save. This is the fight I've practiced the most, and I've been getting a lot more consistent at it. But this is still a pretty hard fight. A creepy fight as well. It's also the creepiest fight in the game. Yeah, we talked to the Dwarven King. Sid is gonna start helping the dwarves, I guess. You know, build up their defenses against the Baron. And it turns out that the crystal displays it's fine. But then we hear a sound coming from the crystal room. Now this is the fight that, as a kid, probably scared me the most because it's weird. So it turns out there is 4 dolls here under the control of Golbez. They're gonna do a little dance with us.
Is that a Calcabrina I see?
Come again, Rule?
Is that a Calcabrina I see?
It is.
Oh yeah. One of the most fun fights in 14 too.
Yeah, it's not much better in this one. I'm gonna jump towards the back, dancing dagger front, kick the entire party. They hurt quite a bit early on, but we can stop them soon. Is this what we have a bronze hourglass for? Cura the entire party because I do kind of need that health. Now we're gonna do something a little bit weird. This is to set up for the fight after this. We're actually gonna silence the entire party here. This makes the fight immediately after this significantly easier because the window that I have in order to do my move becomes a lot bigger. Okay, that's the first fight. We're not done, though. We're not done. We still have a hard part to come. So this next fight, I'm going to really focus on because I've got about a 0.25 second window somewhere in the fight, and if I miss it, this fight becomes significantly more difficult, and I lose about 2 minutes at least. Okay, I can pause buffer this part a little bit, which makes it a little bit easier. Basically, the reason I did the silence is, let's say I got the jump slightly after the Binding Cold. That would have been fine. Okay, we got it. We barely got it, but we got it. So I want Kain to be in the air during this Black Fan, because now that he's back down, he'll be silenced, but he's alive. Radiant Breath will happen. And we'll get rid of the Black Dragon when we get into the fight with Golbez. Kain is supposed to be dead at this point, but due to this, Kain is actually alive, which makes this so much easier. So Kain, with the combination of the Fire Sword and the jump, deals a ton of damage on this boss. He's weak to fire. There we go. Like 2,000 damage right there. Survive. That's good. There we go. That's the hardest fight of the game. Okay, we did it. We got through the hard part. So Rydia rejoins our party. She's grown quite a bit older. She's now incapable of using white magic, but she's become quite good with black magic and summoning as well. Yeah. But as we've defeated Golbez, it seems we haven't killed him entirely, and we see the hand crawling around, capturing the crystal and then teleporting away with it anyway, and thus Golbez capturing yet another crystal. But we've got a plan, because apparently there's a way to maybe get all of these crystals back. So we're gonna see if we can get that done. But first, we're gonna do some shopping, because shopping is pretty good. It's pretty good. There we go. I think that was it. Orphan X. We're gonna go around here to get those Bacchus's wines. They'll come into play during the final boss fight of the game. And I gotta disappoint Indy because it's not Dark Mind. It's close though. And let's go into the other towers. There's another Bacchus wine hidden over there. Are there lava boosts in this game? I'm actually trying to think of whether there are lava boosts. I'm not sure, but no, I don't think so either. So regarding those naps that we kept on talking about, yeah, I gotta disappoint you for a bit here, because we're gonna still wait a little bit longer with taking a nap. We could go to the inn there and take a nap, but there's this pot that has this magic drink in it, which basically is the equivalent of a nap, in that it restores all my health, but it doesn't actually cost me money, and it's faster.
Naps, though.
We did buy some cottages, so we are able to do naps later on.
Naps on the road. Okay, that's all right then.
So yeah, we got that. I am actually going to save, even though there's really nothing that can kill me here. Mostly because I got past the Golbez fight, and that fight scares me every single time. My last 3 runs, I haven't died there. But it still scares me quite a bit. Also, these things are a thing, but we don't have to worry about them. We've got cottages, which they'll do the trick. We don't have to worry too much about our health here. So through the mountains, and we see that the dwarves are actually already attacking the tower here. This is where supposedly the crystals are at, and this is where the bad stuff is going to happen if they get all of the crystals. So we want to prevent that from happening at all costs. This is the Tower of Babel. We'll be spending quite a bit of time in here, both now and later. It's also, if you ever play the Final Fantasy IV Interlude, which is like the first of the 2 sequel parts to this game. I haven't actually ever run that at a BSG, I believe. I've submitted it a few times, but it never got in. But that revolves around, in big part, around this tower as well. This is one of the towers you spend a lot of time in. It's only a 40-minute run. It's it's a pretty cool run to do because of both how short it is and how easy it is to get down. Yeah, and that you basically take the same path that I'm taking now. I guess as we climb the tower, because these ambushes don't seem to be helping much. Crrool, can you take it away one more time? I know it's not been that long yet, but there's really nothing to talk about in the tower here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess you're ascending up to heaven then, through the Tower of Babel. Yeah, I'll just plug some more, guys. We are still running in support of the Dutch Cancer Society, which is just an amazing charity. If you saw Annual, you might have seen the interview we had with one of their officials. It was wonderful. They're a great charity. Are we gonna do it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just took another nap.
Nap time, boy.
I told you we'd buy naps on the go.
Naps on the go. They invest a lot in research as well as locations where patients can just be themselves and chill out and have a good time, which is amazing. 90% of all of your donations go towards the Dutch Cancer Society, and it's great. And since this month, since September, in which subs are half off, we are also partnered. And you can get our wonderful BSG Hype and BSG Time emotes, as well as 2 more emotes which have already been queued up and will be ready in, well, the course of the next few days. So definitely get your subs in too, and all of your donations, because could use some more of those. Thank you all so much for your generous donations so far.
Okay, I think I've got it now. Yeah, let's go. Okay, next boss time. Here we go. So yeah, we basically just climbed the tower. Really nothing more to say than that. However, at the end of the tower, we meet up with this mad scientist, Luge, who's talking to the last of the 4 fiends, Rubicante. He is about as much of a mad scientist as you can imagine, and you know, he's not really got good intentions here, so we're gonna just fight him. Now, the trick with this next fight is I want to actually get the Luge himself. I want to either get him down at the same time as the robot, or before. Okay. Attack there. Jump on Luge. Dancing dagger Luge. This first fight, the first part of this fight is kind of a joke, honestly. Cura, there we go. Okay, that should do it. It's mostly the second part of this fight that actually becomes difficult. The reason we want the robot to die first, or the professor himself to die first, is otherwise he's gonna jump into the dead remains of the robot, which then loses a lot of time. You can still kill him, no problem, but yeah, so this is fine. Now comes part 2 of this fight, and this is where it actually gets tough. This is where he stops playing games, and I mean, I like playing games. That's what we're here for. Yeah, basic idea is we're gonna Berserk Yang. That Yang will be doing a ton of damage. He does a lot of this stuff with like status effects and whatnot. It's really annoying. He doesn't really do too much that actually hurts me in any way. He just does a lot with like status effects like sleep and poison and whatnot. Kind of unfortunate that Rosa died off, but it's not... Okay, that's kind of bad. I'm gonna throw a Phoenix down there. Okay, this is not good right now. I'm gonna throw a Phoenix down there. Because now that I've finally gotten out of that problem, I'm awake, but I'm no longer berserked, so that doesn't help. This fight is not going well at all. And I just ran out of Titan summons as well, so Rydia is going to basically be useless from now on. That's fine, you can put her to sleep. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is great. So everybody's asleep now. Except Cecil. Okay, now everybody's awake, but a little late for that. Okay. Can we do it like this? Yang is at least dealing some damage. Oh, I'm gonna do a second Berserk, whatever. I need to get damage in on this guy. There we go. Okay. That was a really slow fight. We won. That's a thing. But that was a really slow fight. So yeah, Luge vanishes, we defeated him, and now we're gonna have to head out of this place. I'm gonna actually use these high potions a little bit. Help me maybe not die here. Not dying sounds like a decent plan. Is it? Okay, I guess it's overrated.
Yeah, way overrated, man.
Yeah, the boss was a troll for sure, but like I said, we got through at least. Hello, thank you. Okay, so here I gotta pay attention again, because we're gonna redo some of the equipment. That's fine. We'll give him leather clothing and like an iron armlet. That works. We're gonna unlock this door. I'm gonna actually high potion everybody to full. We're gonna keep Rydia dead. We don't need her here. Just more experience for everybody else. There we go. That's it. That's all there is to that fight. But yeah, this is basically like the engine room of the tower. I don't know why a tower needs an engine room, but so be it. So these goblins, they decide to just blow up the tower. Yang kicks us out of the room, and he's gonna stabilize everything, but in turn, is right in the middle of the explosion. That's it for Yang, I suppose. So we hear some sad music cue as we head down.
He was a good man. He will be missed.
But as soon as we're on the next floor, then the sad music stops again, and we just get to continue as if nothing ever happened. Kind of is, isn't it? It's just very sad that, you know, the music just cues back to normal after that. They could have, yeah. They could have kept it to the end of the tower. That would have been kind of cool if they did. But, hey, so be it. So we get to the end of the tower, and, well, this bridge that, you know, crosses the lava, it's gonna explode, and it almost makes us do a lava boost. I want to believe that we lava boost on top of this ship here, because we get picked up by the airship. Lava boost skip though? Why would you skip a lava boost? Lava boosts are great. But yeah, we get chased down by the ship from the Baron Red Wings, and well, that's kind of a problem. Also, our ship can now fly over lava. It couldn't do that before. So they're closing in on us, and that's kind of a problem. So Sid has a plan. We're gonna run into the we're gonna go back into the overworld, you know, where we actually came from, and Sid is gonna close the passage behind us in the only way he knows how, by a once-in-a-lifetime unaided flight. And then, well, poof. He is going out with a bang right there. And, well, this happens. So this is that same island where we had to blow up the mountain before. And now we're going to do that again. We're great at, with, you know, helping out the people from that town. It's the second explosion we've caused. So yeah, that's the end of Sid as well. We're really going through these party members quite quickly at this rate. Oh, I meant to go into the castle. We're gonna go around to the right side of the castle. We haven't actually been here yet. And first and foremost, we're gonna go up into this tower, get all of this stuff. Those elixirs and Bacchus wines will be quite important near the end. Then we're gonna talk to Sid's assistants, who had a plan of modifying the ship in such a way that we can bring our hovercraft with us. You know, that hovercraft that we haven't actually seen in quite some time. Gonna get that with us once again. Yeah, just cutscenes. We can have another lazy day during these cutscenes.
Ah, another lazy day.
So, yeah, okay. This takes a little while. Ah, there we're done. Okay, let's go. The thing is, we kind of blocked our path into the underworld, which is where still the last remaining crystal is. There's at this point one crystal that that Golbez doesn't have in his possession yet. Now, I heard you guys like naps, so we're gonna take another nap. Quickly gonna use that cottage before I head in. There will be another pretty significant menu coming up in a little bit. I'm gonna get 2 new weapons, the Ice Brand and the Ice Spear, which is both the setup for the next boss fight. And I also want to get myself an Ice Shield if I can afford it. That's just mostly for safety means. We're gonna need to sell quite a bit here. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Flame Rod. I can sell those. Where is the Mithril? We get the Ice Brand. Put that to Cecil. We're gonna sell the Flame Meal, which gets me enough to buy the Ice Lance. And with that, I don't need the Flame Sword anymore either. Where is it? Where did I drop the Flame Sword? I should have just... There we go. Okay, I just glossed over that for some reason. That'll do. And off we go. So this is a passage between Eblan and the tower where we were in earlier. Now, the thing is, the king and queen of Eblan, they've kind of been missing. Eblan being the city of the ninjas, by the way. They disappeared and everybody had to retreat on account of everything that Rubicante have been doing. So, we're gonna see, first and foremost, if they're still alive. And if so, we're gonna see if we can get some allies in the people from Eblan. Because, you know, at the end of the day, the one thing we still very much need is allies. These bats are kind of a nuisance right now. They don't really do a lot of damage. I don't really have to worry about dying or anything, but they're just annoying. So we meet up with Edge, which is the Crown Prince from Eblan. He's fighting the last of the elemental fiends, Rubicante, only to use a fire attack on him, which, you know, since he's fire elemental, not so sure that works very well. So yeah, Rubicante kills off Edge, or rather defeats Edge, and he goes away. We get to hear some sad story. Kane is going to join our party, and we're going to move on as usual. Rosa to the rescue here and recovering Edge a bit. Now there is one thing that Edge is very useful for. We're going to equip the other two claws on him, the Fairy Claw and the Cat Claw. And though that means he won't be dealing a lot of damage, it gives him +8 agility, which just makes him incredibly fast when it comes to running away from enemies. And back into the tower we go. Also, he can walk through walls, apparently. Because that's a thing now. Ninjas can do that, right? So yeah, I mean, we've been in this tower before. We're gonna just do it all over again. Basically the same story. We need to hit the. We need to get to the end of the tower. This time we're going down instead of up, in order to attempt to find the crystals. See if we can actually get something going on that one. I will say as well, this next fight is kind of a tough one. The next boss fight coming up. It's not so much the hardest fight in the game like we had with like the Kelbraina Golbez combo, but it can still be pretty tricky. Basically, I want to get him into a certain cycle, and I want to loop him in such a way that he cannot get out of that. If I set it up correctly, I can basically auto through the second half of the fight, not having to do anything, and he'll just die. Also, since we're near the end, we're going to take another nap. A lot of naps in this game, as you can tell. That didn't change, even though, you know, we've got portable naps now. Now, there is one really cool chest in this on this last floor. That's actually not supposed to be what it is. It's supposed to be like a dry ether or something. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. But due to a mistake in the coding, it actually changed into a chest that contains 82,000 gil, which is a lot of money, as you can imagine. That's basically all of the remaining money I'll need for the rest of the game. For the remakes, they just decided to keep it that way. So this is the King and Queen. They've kind of been turned into hideous monsters by Rubicante. Gist of the fight is really easy. We just defend with everyone. So yeah, as we get to the second part, we get, you know, a cutscene, all the sad part, and they realize that they become monsters, and thus they kill themselves. So they leave Ablan in the hands of Edge. So that's fight number 1. That's the easy one. Now comes the hard one. The time for the 4th and last of the Elemental Archfiends. This guy is kind of cool in that he just decides to heal us before the fight begins. Here we go. I'm gonna start by throwing off a Spider Silk to slow him down. That helps me keep in pattern a little easier. And attack with both of them. I was supposed to Hermes Sandal with Kane, actually. It's fine. I can still do that now. Reserve Kane. Attack. That's to make sure that he doesn't break out of that pattern. That's fine. It's kind of also not, but it's fine. So he's going to counter every single one of my regular attacks with a Fira. But the idea of this fight is I'm going to use Blazara in order to keep his cloak open. in an attempt to make sure that he doesn't actually... yeah, the cloak stays open, which allows me to deal a lot more damage. Oh, that's really bad. Item... I need to get her back up or the cloak is gonna close. Cloak might close, which would be kind of bad. Okay, we should be good. I think we should be able to get the ice off. There's the cure. Okay, good. We got it. Not a great fight, but not a bad fight either. That's Rubicante. I didn't completely get him into the cycle because they managed to kill off Rydia slightly earlier than I would have liked to, but we got him. 2 hours. That's not a bad time. 2-hour Rubicante. Not really sure what my PB has, but it's probably something around that. I mean, all in all, this run hasn't been too bad in general. A few things that have gone like somewhat wrong, but I haven't had any major problems yet, which, considering how far in the run we are, is kind of a good thing. There's still a few things that can go massively wrong if we don't pay attention, but we're pretty good so far. So we're gonna drop it, or we find the crystals there. They were actually all in that room, all 7 of them. Except, you know, basically all 8, but except for the one that they haven't found yet. And, well, they knock us, or we fall in for a trap, and now we gotta make our way down the tower again. I think I'm gonna quickly make sure that I don't actually completely die here. These back attacks are rather painful. I just used the other Hermes sandal. That's not terrible. I've done that before. It's pretty easy to recover from it. You use those Hermes sandals on a battle later on, but instead of the Hermes sandals, I can also just use haste. As we get down here, we find ourselves yet another airship. And, well, we might as well take it. It's a ship from the Red Wings, so we might not be able to get spotted as easily as we did with the other ship. And, somehow Edge apparently knows how to fly these things. Don't ask. Now, instead of taking a nap, I'm gonna drop down here real quick, and I'm gonna use that pot with that just instantly revives my MP and HP. And into the castle we go. There's 2 things we need to do here. First and foremost, we need to find the location of the second crystal, as well as the key in order to actually get there. It turns out the second crystal is in the sealed cave, and the only way to open up the sealed cave is by using Luca's necklace. We're also here to find Sid and find a way for us to get ourselves a ship that can actually travel over the lava. Yeah, because apparently Sid, though wounded, actually survived that fall and that explosion right in his face. Don't know quite how, but yeah, he's alive. So I will say, the plan, just to give you guys an idea of the plan that we have in order to, you know, prevent the guys, like the enemies, to get the last crystal, is we're gonna get the crystal out of a sealed cave, which is locked off by some magic necklace that only the Dwarven Princess has. So that we can get the crystal so we can keep it safe from them. I mean, I'm not sure, but that doesn't sound like the best of plans to me. Anyway, more cutscenes. We see another remodeling of the airship. This time in order to get us access to fly over lava. So yeah, just sit back, enjoy the cutscene, I guess. Sid waving at the crowd. See, even Sid is waving at you guys. That's how good this game is. Sid just knows you're all watching. Okay, so as he fixed that, we can now move on. Teleport out of this place. We don't have to teleport, it's just faster. I don't really need the 10 MP either. So first and foremost, we're going to make a quick stop in this town over here. And that's just to buy a few weapons. This place got some pretty good weapons. We're going to buy 2 Ashuras, and we're going to buy the Ogre Killer. That's the axe we'll be using for the final boss fight, and the Ashuras will come into play in one of the other boss fights later on. And now we're going to circle around a little bit, because there is this cave that I actually want to go before we go into the sealed cave. I will say in advance, this cave is it's probably the thing I struggle with the most when learning, because the pathway is really counterintuitive. Also, I take like a ton of damage every single time I take a step on the green goop. So yeah, there's actually a passage over here. Not really sure how you're supposed to figure out that that's a passage, but right at the stairs there is one. We do this entire part in order to get a weapon, the Avenger. It's a weapon that would instantly berserk anybody that wields it, making it really useful. Phoenix Downs. Also gonna get another ether. You can actually do this game, or do this run without the Avenger, which theoretically is faster, but it's so much more risky that it's just not worth it. Nice back attack there. Bad Breath doesn't actually do anything, unless they hit a specific party member. We're gonna use the Silver Hourglass. I'm gonna start summoning Titan. The rest just defense. That's all we do. We summon Titan and we defend, and that eventually kills these small Boros off. So yeah, this is kind of like a mini boss fight. The rune armlets cause the status effects to not actually take into effect, which is why this fight is so easy. And we get the Avenger and just get out of here. So yeah, that's basically one of the strongest swords in the game right there. That'll be quite useful. And let's take another nap. Sealed Cave is probably one of the hardest dungeons that we need to do. So it's also the dungeon that I'm gonna have to kind of be careful with. Power Armlet. Okay, here we go. So we unlocked the sealed cave. Like I said, we're gonna unlock the seal that is bound to a magic necklace that was only in possession of the Dwarven Princess, so that we can actually get in here. We're gonna unlock so many seals in this place that it's like, why would we do this? It just doesn't make sense. This is also actually, interestingly enough, the one dungeon that you skip in the SNES run. The funny thing with this run in particular is, even though that we do this entire additional dungeon on top of everything else, which you don't do in SNES, and we don't have the glitches, and and we don't have step manip, it's still faster than the SNES run. I always kind of like that thought, just the fact that this run is, just because of movement speed and auto battle, it just makes it feel a lot faster. Good critical from Kane. Yeah, I'm comparing as No 64, yeah. The main category, basically, for the SNES run. I picked up a few ethers along the way. Other than that, there really isn't too much in this place. I will say, though, the boss is something else. I really like this boss fight, just the way that it was designed. It is one of the worst Final Fantasy bosses out there in terms of how difficult it is. But I like the design of it. I'll say that much. Well, I can guarantee you it definitely did end up scaring me. So yeah, here we go. It's the last say. Oops. Didn't mean to try and climb down that rope. These all just end in nothing. Okay, last door that we have to get through. Now, so far we've been getting pretty lucky on the doors. The doors can actually summon a additional enemy as they die, but none of the doors did that. That's best RNG if none of them do. So we grab the crystal, because like I said, the smart thing to do is to grab a sealed off crystal that nobody can get to, in order to keep it safe from somebody else. I'm gonna revive Rydia one last time. For everybody's healed to full. We're killer there, we're gonna get the Ashuras. And now we're gonna get attacked by the demon wall, because this place was booby-trapped in that, you know, you can't just leave. Not with the crystal, that is. Yeah, so the thing with this fight is, this box is trying to point out next to me, is this boss actually moves towards you every couple of seconds. And by the time it gets too close to you, it basically just crushes you and it's an instant party wipe. So you actually have a time limit in how fast you have to kill him. We cast 2 slows, mostly just to buy us some time and to make sure that he doesn't deal as much damage. And from there on, we just need to chip down his health as quickly as we can. His Edge dying isn't the worst. He's one of the lower damage dealers. As long as Cecil and Kane don't die. Okay, there we go. Good fight. It was really clean. So now comes one of the most forgotten and most important menus in the game. So we're gonna go out of here. And first and foremost, I'm gonna unequip everything from Kane, because I need that later on for something. It actually loses quite a bit of time if I forget that here. I believe it loses like a minute to a minute and a half or something. And it's so easily forgotten, because as soon as you leave the cave, you can't actually do that anymore. Because yeah, remember that brilliant plan we had about getting the crystal out of here so that we could actually protect it from evil? Yeah, it turns out that will not go as well as we planned, because as soon as we try to step out of this place, Kane decides to take the crystal and bring it to Golbez. He was a double-double agent. And he was secretly still supporting Golbez all along. So now Golbez has all of the crystals. This is also why I needed to get the Avenger out, because I want to use the Avenger still for the final boss fight. We're only still going to use it for the final boss. I'm not going to care for everything else, but I want to be able to use it for the final boss, and in order to do that, I needed it back. So, yeah, now we need to find a way to get out of the underworld, because there isn't much I can do from here. And, well, we've got a brilliant plan to do that. We're going to talk to Sid again, because Sid is... He's smart. He's an engineer. And, oh, wait, right. Whoops. I'm supposed to talk to the king first. Minor brain fart there. That happens. There we go. So the king asks whether we have the crystal. We tell him what happened. And he tells us of the legend of Mysidia and that, you know, there might be a way for us to work it out after all. And then Sid comes running in. And, well, we're gonna get another cutscene where we're again gonna work on the airship. That's the third time now. It's kind of a recurring theme with this game. So yeah, just stretch a little bit more, because there really isn't much going on right now. Just another cutscene. Yet another. This game has so many moments where it's just another lazy day, you know? It's quite good. So yeah, in the meantime, I believe we do have a new host, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, Kinnan.
Hello.
It's good to see you on the hosting station. Good job on the run earlier.
No, it was horrible. I really don't know what you're talking about.
I don't. That's true. I don't know what I'm talking about. But still, it was fun. So I'm going to say it anyway. Good job on the run earlier.
Well, thank you very much. You're doing not so bad yourself, even though I've barely seen anything going on.
That's fair. I get that. I get it. It's quite a long sitting if you want to actually watch the entire thing. Mm-hmm. But that's been going pretty well, I will say. It's been going pretty well.
Good to hear.
So you're doing something with Dark Mind later, don't you?
I only talk to final bosses. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Dark Mind is supposed to be pretty good, I heard. Heard good things about that boss.
Well, it's probably the hardest boss in the game, so.
Yeah, it is. I definitely can attest to that when I played it casually. It's definitely a hard fight, all right.
Top 3 even. Wow, I'm flattered.
Okay, so now that the cutscene is done, we actually got a drill mounted to our ship, and we're gonna now drill a hole where we kind of, you know, made the thing explode, and we're gonna do a third explosion on this. These people must really like me. The third time they get some form of an explosion happening there. And we're gonna pay another visit to Mysidia, because we haven't been there for a while. Let's see how the Elder is doing. That white mage just walked through the black mage, by the way. Don't know if you noticed. And remember that cutscene where I said it was going to happen a second time? Yeah, here it is. We've got more cutscenes. This is Final Fantasy in a nutshell, right? There's always going to be cutscenes. And though there aren't that many in this game compared to some of the later Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy 5, 7, 9, 6, I think 8 as well, and probably everything past 10. So, you know, close enough. Yeah, there's quite a few in this one as well. It's not as bad, but there's quite a few. So yeah, they're basically all praying to the moon, because that's a thing apparently. Yeah, there's two moons. There is the real moon, and then there is the other one. There's the moon's moon. It's pretty good. So yeah, the prayers have been answered, and we get another cutscene where we see the lunar whale show up. This is a ship that can get us to the moon. Not the actual moon, the other one. Trust me, this game makes sense. Kinda. Maybe. The ship is quite awesome. Wait till you see the inside of the ship. It is quite amazing. Yeah, we go into the ship and look at this thing. We've got this crystal over here. There's actually a sleeping place in the ship as well, but it's too slow for me to go there. But still, it can just, like that, fly me to the moon. Let me see if my... Oh, okay, I still don't know where I'm going with this place. I never know where I'm going with this place. It's around here, so there it is. I always find it, but I always lose like 10 seconds because I never looked up a map of this place and actually figured out where to go. You know, because I'm a good speedrunner and whatnot. So yeah, this is the moon. We're just gonna take a walk over the moon. Now, the enemies here are quite a pain to deal with, especially if you get a lot of them. My PB actually got really lucky and got very few enemies in this part, but we've been getting quite a few so far. Kinda unlucky. So, Kinnan, since we're coming up on, or since we're starting to get closer towards the end of this run, how are we doing on the incentives for the next one?
We are doing not so great, to be honest. The ones that are coming up next for Goat Simulator are Get Catified, which is only at €5 out of 50. So if you want to see cute little kitties, please donate. We also have I can't talk today. We also have a Kill and Save the Humans incentive, which we are currently killing the humans. So if you want to save humanity, donate more than €4, and then we are good to go with that. After that, this is pretty far away still. In the Sonic Heroes run by Critical Sid, we have a glitch exhibition lined up. If we donate €150, because 115 euros, because we're only at €10. So donate if you want to see all these things happen.
Okay, so we basically picked up another party member. This was Fusoya. He's a Lunarian. Something. Apparently, Cecil was born on the moon, and Lunarian has been. The Lunarians have been sleeping here for a while. Anyway, we're gonna have him join the party, and we're gonna go back to Earth. Yeah, Cecil is It's half Lunarian. It might be half Lunarian. Ah, right. Okay, so half Lunarian then. And this is probably my favorite cutscene in the game. I actually really like this part. So we get back to Earth. They've got all of the 8 crystals, and, well, that causes the Tower of Babel to, well, have this happen. Do we see the Giant of Babel appear? We'll spend quite a bit of time in this thing, by the way. But, yeah, he's here to destroy the world. But, as all seems doomed, well, by this point, we have managed to get quite a few allies, actually. And, well... Here's everybody working together. Baron Redwings, the dwarves that have come with their tanks, all to fight this giant. Turns out Yang survived as well. He was with the fairy things. I don't remember their name.
I didn't know they added 3D effects in this version of the game.
Yeah, they've got some 3D cutscenes. It's really only the cutscenes, but still, it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one is actually this one specifically was released after the 3D port, which for the Nintendo DS. So there's actually a 3D version out there as well, which was, I believe, released before this version. But honestly, I like the way that they designed this version more. It's a lot. 1 and 2 are both have this kind of art style as well. FF3 doesn't. It's a 3D one. Anyway, we get into the giant. Okay, we should be good for just a little bit. So this is where the biggest RNG part of the game happens. This is where we're going to do a grind fight coming up. And let me just say that the grind fight is awful. That's really just about everything you need to know about the grind fight. It's awful. We specifically need to kill 29 clockwork dragons, all in the same fight, then kill off every single party member except Rosa, and then defeat the last enemy with Rosa. And that gets Rosa to level 55, which teaches me Holy, which actually does more than level just Rosa. I'll get more in on that. This is, by the way, the fight I need, but I won't be actually fighting it until I've saved. That's just for marathon safety here. Because there's a save point by the end of this, and I really want to make sure that I've saved before going for the run on it. It can take a while for the grind fight to show up. It's a pretty common encounter, luckily, but you can get trolled quite a bit here. Now I quickly need to open up my notes on this, so let me first use the cottage. Take another nap, as per usual. Okay, equipment. We're gonna remove the weapons here. That has a reason. And we're gonna remove the ogre killer from him. He gets the dancing dagger, and we're gonna unequip the rune ring. A silver armlet will do. You get the rune ring, and that staff. You get the aura staff. Okay, that's it. So now I need to first and foremost find the grind fight, and then we're gonna set it up. This is the one time where we just kind of have to grind, because I need levels for the end game. So this is not the encounter I need. I need a searcher and 2 beams. 2 beam cannons. This doesn't necessarily mean this is the good one, but at least we can check. So we're gonna quake them. That's gonna get rid of the beams, hopefully. Although I'll probably need to do a Titan right after. You're there. So assuming we get the correct summon here, I'm gonna stop the whatever summon, or whatever gets summoned. Okay, it's the wrong one. That's not a clockwork dragon. So yeah, that can happen. This can lose you a lot of time if that keeps on happening. I had one of my practice runs had that happen like I think 5 or 6 times before I actually got the good one. The good thing is, as far as there is a good thing, I had forgotten to... I went to Bestiary again. I had forgotten to switch it into Battle Speed 1. So if we get it now, we don't actually lose a lot of time. My PB has Battle Speed 2 for this fight, so I actually have a lot of time save on this part. Yeah, most of the versions of the speedrun of FF4 have this grind in one way or another. It's different per version, but most versions have it. There is a newer route for this, which actually uses a different character setup later, which grinds differently here as well. It's just not as marathon safe, which is why I'm not going for it. Summon Titan. Back attack, to my knowing, doesn't make any difference. I believe it's like a 60-40-ish chance or something. The other one seems more... the good one seems more common. Okay, this is the good one. So we got the fight I need. Okay, so the setup is pretty basic. I'm gonna first make sure that we don't actually die. So I'm gonna set up, I'm gonna use a Kyuraga on the Searcher, because I need the Searcher to stay alive for a little while. It might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but that has its reasons. And then I'm gonna use Tornado on the Dragon. Okay, that's 1. Feel free to count with me. 29. That's 2. Three. I'm gonna use an elixir on Fusoya here. To make sure I have enough MP for... This is where we're gonna use all of those ethers that I picked up earlier. Five. Six. We're getting somewhere. This is actually like the longest fight in the game, but it has a purpose. I'll explain it when I'm done. Because it's like it might not look the part, but this is also one of those fights that you really need to focus on. 7. that's kind of bad. This is why you need to immediately stop him. The first time, it's not that bad if he uses that. Ten. Did I tornado him? I think I did, right? I didn't. Okay. That's fine. $11. $12. $13. $14. We're basically halfway done now. Yeah, that's good. That's 15. I have to dry ether for Soya. I missed the stop. That's really bad. It's really bad when you miss a stop. Where is stop? There it is. Okay. We're on 15, right? Okay, good. Okay. Tornado. Can I have her Cura herself? $16. $17. Oh. Yeah, I was in time. Good. $18. $19. 10 more. Last dry ether. $20. $21. I have edge attack the core for a reason, by the way. That's just because edge deals less damage, so I can't accidentally kill off the searcher. Uh, 22. few more. We're almost done here. Four. I'm gonna use an elixir on Fasoya here. I don't have enough for Tornado. This is 25. Six. Almost done. 3 more. Oh, whoops. That doesn't really do anything unless I've tornadoed it first. $27. Okay, this is the last one. I'm gonna cast Stop on both of them now. I'm gonna Tornado them. We're gonna cast Stop on that one as well. Tornado that one. And I'm gonna start equipping my actual weapon and kill myself off. This has a reason, trust me. So I'm gonna use Blazara to kill off. Nope. Actually, hold on. I can better attack you, 'cause that'll die. I've got Thundara to kill herself off. You can do that. Okay, yeah, I have enough MP for that. I need to watch out here that I don't accidentally kill off Rosa. That'd be really, really bad. Okay, Thundaga to kill off himself. So yeah, that's the grind fight. Okay. So yeah, you can see how many levels we get on Rosa. Now the reason we do the grind fight like this, because it actually has a very, very big purpose. You might think, okay, so now Rosa has levels and she's gonna be powerful, right? Yeah, the thing is, not just Rosa. Everybody that's not in the party gets the experience from, how do you say it? Everybody in the party gets the experience, or everybody not in the party gets the experience that each of the individual party members get. So because only Rosa got that experience, everybody not in the party also got that the equivalent of that amount of experience. So not just Rosa just leveled to like an insane level, everybody not in my party right now also did, and that's where it becomes really useful. I want to switch those two around as well. Yeah, that includes Yang, Sid, Kane, Palam, Poram, just to name a few. And yes, even Edward. So even Edward right now is stronger than most of the people that I have in my party. That says a lot. That's just how powerful they just became. So, time for the refight with the Elemental Archfiends. We're going to fight all 4 of them back to back in quick succession. That's the first one. No, not Cura. You go for that. We're gonna Blazara. So Inferno is kind of painful, but it's fine. I'm surprised most of my party members were still alive even. It's nice chip damage though. Works out nicely. It's realistically only the 4th one that I have to worry about. The first 3 are pretty straightforward fights. Okay, apparently he's not dead yet. He's kind of hoping this one to be down, but apparently not. It's not a major issue that he isn't. Of course, now he is. I figured he had to be close. This is still a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. It's still useful. Not as useful. Okay, so from here on it's just the 2 of them, which is fine. That's to be expected. Daga. And then I'm gonna actually throw an ether or an elixir towards Fasoya so that he has enough MP for the last one. Okay, I need to heal. Actually, I'm gonna play it a little bit safe because he's about to do. She's about to do Mealstorm. So this is why why this fight can be very dangerous. He can do that, or she can do that attack, which then causes me to basically drop down to almost no HP. If you do not have a heal ready to go, and he does something AoE, then you're just dead. Oh, we got him. That fight went actually pretty well. That can be a surprisingly difficult fight at times, and I have died there plenty of times before. But by just playing it slow, especially in the last phase, it's not very likely to happen. And I just use a Rise to get everybody back on their feet, and I'm gonna play it safe here, and I'm gonna take a heal. We're gonna take one final nap. Actually, is it the final nap? It might be the final nap. It might also be the before last nap. I think it's probably more the before last nap. It's one of the last ones, though, and we are really getting into the end game. We currently have 2 bosses left and 1 dungeon. So we should be going a decent bit under. Okay, so here we go. Time for the CPU fight. This is a rather awkward fight to do sometimes, and it's another one of those fights where I kind of have to focus. So this thing has 2 of these nodes, the attack node and the defense node. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna flare the defense node here. Now once that one's down, I can start chipping down the health on the CPU. We're never actually going to attack the attack node. Just going to leave that for what it is. That's 1. So for Rydia, we've got a very special strat. She's gonna use the dancing daggers on herself. Just get her killed off. She's too slow. Haste. That's 2. Kuraga queued up. Okay, it's 5. So from here on, we just gotta play a counting game. 6. Just gotta chip down the health of the CPU enough. 7. 8. 9, 10. Once we've dealt 36 attacks, 11, I can use Meteor to kill it off. 12, 13. Might be less if we actually get some good rolls. We'll see. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 7. It should be almost good to start queuing up the flare or the meteor. 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Oh wait, no, that was 10 and 11. 12. We should be good either way. Give it like 2 more attacks. There we go. Ah, Fusoya is already queued up to defend. Okay, so next turn I'm gonna actually do something with Fusoya then. That's kind of the thing with this fight. It's like you can count to a certain extent, but you also gotta pay attention to like the rolls you get and whatnot. Because you want to have the attack node and the CPU die at the same time. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, there we go. Meteor. That should kill it off. There we go. That's the poor last boss of the game down, because with that, we've killed the giant. And, well, we see Golbez walk in one more time, and it turns out Golbez was not actually the bad guy. So, Fusoya recovering Golbez's original memories, and it turns out Golbez is actually Cecil's brother. And, he was under the spell of a greater evil. So it turns out that all the way over on the moon, there's an even bigger evil out there than Golbez was, and Golbez was under its control. So now we need to go to the moon and defeat that evil once and for all. So we see Kane walking up. As the spell was broken on Golbez, the spell was broken on Kane as well. And Kane is finally there to actually join our party and help us in our cause. Was about time, really. So yeah, that is the giant done. This collapses on the floor, breaks into pieces, and it's all over. Now we get some more cutscenes of, you know, how everybody's going to the moon. We're gonna tell Rydia and Rosa to stay behind because, you know, it's dangerous, and, you know, you should obviously not take your healer with you, because going to the moon to, like, fight the most dangerous boss in the game without your healer, that's smart. Yeah, also considering Rosa is level 55 and Cecil is like level 20 something? 28 or something? I'd have to guess 28. Might be slightly more but by this point, but Rosa is at least another like 20, 25 levels higher. So, yep, here we go. To the moon. Now, as we get to the moon and we try to walk out to fight this, or to go look for this great evil, we see Rosa. She did not actually ever leave the ship because she would not let us go without her. It's way too dangerous, and she can be of great help. So Rydia and Rosa rejoin my party here. Now, as we are here anyway, I'm gonna just immediately head back to Earth. I don't care for the moon right now. We still have one more thing we want to do. This is actually a thing that is completely optional. Like, you don't actually have to do this. It's actually slower than, you know, just immediately going for the boss. However, it's a lot more safe. We're gonna go back to Earth. I'm gonna quickly use a Phoenix down on Rydia, and we're gonna do some equipment. Specifically unequipping Kane here. That all looks good. Cool. I'm actually gonna go into Mysidia, and we're gonna pick up a different party. This party is rather bad. We're gonna take Sid instead of him, and we're gonna take Yang with us. His Edge is rather bad right now. Rydia is rather bad right now. So we're gonna take Sid and Yang instead. We get some cutscenes about how an opening has, or a passage has opened up on the Mount of Mount Ordeals. There we go. Which is where we could fight some pretty overpowered equipment, but we don't need it. So let's see. You're gonna get the Avenger because it's overpowered. Green Barret, Black Belt G, Power Armlet. You're just optimized. I wasn't supposed to sell the hammer that I sold. That's kind of bad. Whoops. I made a mistake. Okay, that's fine. We can fix it. We can fix it. Just need to quickly look around in a few towns, get a... Actually, no, hold on. I was about to say, this feels off, but I need to get the Ogre Killer on him. Never mind, I never actually made that mistake. Scratch whatever I said. We're fine. We're completely fine. I just had the weapon that's supposed to equip on Sid. I still had it on Cecil. That's why I couldn't find it. And now we're going to the moon. Now that we actually have a party. So we could technically also bring Edward, which would be an improvement over Cecil, but because of story triggers, we need to bring him along. There is one trigger later on at the start of the final boss fight that you need Cecil for. So otherwise, it probably would have been worth it to either take Palom or Edward instead. Even though they're both quite bad. Okay, let's there's a cottage. Gonna save because I never trust the next part. That can get quite dangerous very quickly. I mean, the levels we're at, except for Cecil, are basically the levels an average casual player would have, so we really shouldn't have any problems with this. But then again, this game can find ways. 3 hours entering this place. That is quite good, actually. Not sure if I'm on PB pace, but I might be. I wouldn't be surprised. PB is like a 3:16 or something. See, now that we actually entered the moon, we get some pretty epic music, and we're just gonna make our way through this place. This place is quite dependent on how many encounters we get. We can get very lucky, or we can get very unlucky, and anything in between. So we'll see. I don't really have to worry about the final boss fight itself. The final boss is free. The only downside of this place is you're only ever going to hear like the first 3 seconds of the song, even though it's a really good song, just on account of it not properly looping every time you leave a battle. It just starts over every time. So it's only really when we're going to take our actual final nap that you might get to hear a little bit more of it. So far, it's been a pretty good descend. Keep this up. This will be quite the time going into the bottom part, because this is the last save point. This is the actual last save point in the game. Cannot save anymore beyond this point. We're about to head into the last part of this dungeon, or like the second half, which is where almost every single encounter is going to be unrunnable. We haven't actually seen anything unrunnable yet, but they are in this game, and they're all in this next part. There we go. The lunar subterrane, the last couple of floors. I need to turn auto off here, switch into Rosa, and we're going to use teleport. Because we can still run away from them using teleport, we just can't use it, or we just can't regularly run away. It's kind of annoying because, you know, it's a lot slower than running. We'll get there. Come on. Just need to kind of watch Rosa's health mostly. As long as she still has plenty of health, we're going to be fine. The last floor, it gets a little bit better. The last one, they become more runnable again. So many encounters right now. It's losing me quite a bit of time. This is just where you really don't want to see any encounters. Simple as that. should get me enough health. I guess while we finish up our descent here, because we've got like 2 more floors left, Kinnan, how about you go over the incentives coming up one more time? Because I think some of them are starting to get close to their closing point.
Yes, they are. After this game, we have Goat Simulator run by Rigold. And incentive we have running right now is getting catified, and it's still only at €5 out of 50. So if you like cute kittens and you like to see them all over the game, go and donate for that. And on the same token, we also have a Kill and Save the Humans donation bit war going on in that game, and we're currently killing the humans. So if you want to save humanity, you better donate for that. I would also like to point out that all 90% of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society, who works tirelessly to help with cancer research and helping those who are already battling the disease. So it's all going to a good cause.
Okay, so we actually, in the meantime, arrived at the final boss. This is Zemus. He is the one responsible for controlling the minds of those on Earth and trying to destroy Earth. They're, Golbez and Fasoya are trying to defeat him. They're going to do a twin meteor. It's quite a powerful meteor, and it actually does manage to defeat him. So yeah, that's it. That's GG. But no, time is not yet. Time is not yet. But yeah, that's Zemus. Okay, yeah, this is most definitely PB pace by quite a bit. Because there's no way this is going to take another 10 minutes. Okay, that's cool. The final boss is free. Final boss is actually free. You'll see very soon why. I mean, I knew PB was very much possible for both of the games I'm running, just because I've actually started practicing them recently. I actually PB'd like a few days before the marathon as well, last Wednesday during my practice run, and apparently we're gonna just improve that even more. Apparently I can keep the legacy of, you know, PBing on a BSG with FF4, because my old FF4 PB, which was at BSG, got kicked out by my run from Wednesday. Anyway, this is Aromas. This is Zemus in his other form, because that wasn't even his final form. Hashtag every RPG ever. So yeah, Golbez and Fasoya using a few meteor attacks. So Golbez tries to use a crystal, which supposedly makes him vulnerable to my attacks again, but he fails at it because he's chosen a dark path. So now it's rip. But wait, because at the Tower of Prayers, they actually apparently know that we're in trouble. So they're gonna send us their prayers, and that apparently works. Every RPG ever, you know? Time will be as soon as the final boss flashes dead. Well, it's not so much a flash, but you'll know it when it comes up. I'll call it out as well. The final boss theme is pretty good. Yeah, so lots of cutscenes. Basically, all of the setting up. We get the crystal from Golbez, which now gives us a chance to make him vulnerable because we chose a path of light instead of a path of darkness. So we can actually use the crystal. Well, here we go. And nothing actually will do anything until we've actually used the crystal. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's right on top. So now comes the actual final form. Welcome to Zeromus, the final boss of the game. There's my Bacchus swine. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait here until he actually uses his first attack. There, and now I'm gonna use Curaja. I'm gonna use Curaja every single turn. Yeah, here you can see the combination of Curaja combined with the 3 berserked characters of level 50 something. It just does so much damage. Okay, be sure to be ready on time, because it's gonna come fairly sudden. This boss has a couple of things he's gonna do. He's gonna start off with a phase where he just uses Big Bang. Then he's gonna switch into Flare and then Meteor. Black Hole nullifies all of the status effects, including Berserk. So I need to re-Berserk my characters now. For Kane, that's pretty easy. Okay, he got into the Flare phase. Black Hole is the scary one. Ooh, that's kind of bad, actually. Okay, that could have been really bad. Hold on. Please don't kill Kane again. Of course it kills Kane again. This is bad. Okay, Meteor. Meteor shouldn't kill Kane at that health, I think. I hope. Otherwise, this is gonna be a bit of a nasty... Yeah, okay. Cool. Time. That's PB by almost 5 minutes. That is quite a significant PB. It's like 4.5 minutes off of my PB, so... Yeah, it was a 3:16:18, I believe, so... That's a good improvement. I'm happy with that. I was not expecting to improve it by that much here, but that was all in all just a pretty clean run. We've had some rough spots here and there, but all in all, it was just like execution-wise, it was mostly clean. So I'm pretty happy with how I played, especially the harder fights. They all went pretty well. So definitely a PB I can be happy with. Yeah, basically from here on, we get to the point where, you know, all of the... now that Zeromus is dead, Golbez and Fusoya are going to go into a long slumber, the moon disappears, and everybody's going to live happily ever after. Cecil and Rosa will get married, and they'll... because Rosa was like the princess of Baron, she's the next ruler in line to rule over Baron Kingdom. So, you know, basically all is good again. And I'm not really sure how we're doing time-wise, but I think we're about to get moving on with Goat Sim. Great run as always, so be sure to watch that. And good luck to the next couple of runners, and you'll see me later tonight for Evoland 2.